Good evening, Fredonia. You're listening to The Local Lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I am your co-host, Mel, executive producer and promotions lead.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm the A&R lead.
And I'm Alex. I'm the technical director here at The Local Lowdown.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems in a group effort to promote and showcase the local music scene here in Fredonia, but also Western New York at large. Welcome to The Local Lowdown.
And on this episode, we have our guest for the week, Amateur Hockey Club, or Matt. Matt, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks for being here, Matt.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So how about you introduce yourself, the role you play in your band, and the lovely gentleman who could not be here today, but we did meet them.
My name is Matt. I sing and I play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
We're a four-piece band. Craig also plays guitar.
Shout out to Craig.
Shout out to Craig. Always shout out. Abram plays bass. Shout out Abram.
Shout out Abram.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch plays drums. Shout out Mitch.
Shout out Mitch.
Nice.
Perfect. We did have the lovely opportunity of meeting them last week during a gig, but today we'll be interviewing Matt specifically. So what brought amateur hockey clubs together? I feel as though the times that I have mentioned the bands named to other people, it's brought with a bit of confusion, but they're like, band. I was like, yes. How did that come together? The name itself, a bit of background, please.
Yeah, so Amateur Hockey Club basically formed because a different band that me and my friends were in fell apart. The lead singer of that band moved to New York City to try to pursue theater.
Mm-hmm.
So without a singer, we just kind of were left as just four instrumentalists.
Gotcha.
So obviously it would not have been the same band as it was before.
Mm-hmm.
So we started writing new music, and we're just sitting around trying to think of a name. We were drinking Molson Canadian, and at the time, at that point in time, Molson Canadian bottles. On the reverse side, the label said that Molson Canadian is the perfect beer for your amateur hockey club. So we became Amateur Hockey Club.
Boom.
So it's super just straightforward. Like, this is what we're doing right now. We see this, and that's the name.
It was like the second time that we had got together that way. I don't think that anybody was like, oh, it's like actually the name of the band. But then I started booking shows as Amateur Hockey Club, so it was
so
actually the name of the band.
No,
I love that.
Yeah.
You guys should get sponsored soon. That'd be great. Like the origin story and like the brand itself just come full circle.
The thing is, we don't really drink Molson anymore. It's not like we have like anything against Molson, but it's just like not a beer.
Never
choice.
mind. X-nay that.
I mean, if they want to sponsor me, I will start drinking Molson again. It's fine.
Of course.
Yeah. So your music clearly has some influence from early 2000s, even like late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see that you've compared yourselves to like radio rock, like Third Eye Blind type stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like Third Eye Blind gets referenced a lot. They're great. I've seen them. Yeah, that wasn't really a question, but
But yeah, so I think like Third Eye Blind being referenced a lot now.
Yeah.
I think like 10 years ago there was like a big like 80s revival push kind of going on with alternative bands. Like I think like the 1975 was a band that I really liked that had like a lot of like 80s influences.
Yeah.
That were super clear. But then I think that in the last like 5 years, kind of like a 90s revival has been going on. Like my favorite band of the last like 5 years is Microwave, and I think that Microwave definitely has a lot of like the 90s alternative rock aesthetic to them. And then even they made a grunge album.
I actually just saw Microwave in concert like a week ago.
Whoa.
That's crazy that you mentioned that.
Which one did you go to?
I went to the Pittsburgh one.
I went to the Pittsburgh one.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I missed you.
And you guys
we
could
could
have
have seen.
met.
I was by like the right side of the stage, up by the front. I don't know where you were.
By the left side of the stage, not very close to the
what
front.
a shame.
That's so upset. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people went.
Microwave's like the best. I think that was the sixth time I've seen him live. I saw him at Town Ballroom a few years ago. They opened for the Wonder Years, and then the very best concert I've ever been to. They had been on a tour supporting Tiny Moving Parts, but there was an off date, so they did a headliner in Columbus with Head North, who were like the most popular band in Buffalo at the time, and a band called The Will Away. And in the basement of a pizza place in Columbus.
Oh my gosh.
Called Donato's Pizza. And
Wow.
it was incredible. The ceilings were only like 6 feet high, so when the pit broke out during microwave, there was like tiles falling down. My girlfriend broke off a chunk of one of the tiles that fell and had the band sign it. It was the best show I'd ever been to ever. It was incredible.
Yeah. Cool.
And then I saw them last fall when they had a headliner in Buffalo, and I was like, okay, I'm good to like, because this tour with the Story So Far headliner, I don't really care about the Story So Far, and it was in Pittsburgh, so I was like, I'm cool just like sitting this one out, missing this one. And then they put out their new song, Circling the Drain, and I was like, actually, I have to see that
Second
song
thought.
live. And so I went to Pittsburgh.
Very much like yourself, I wasn't there for the Story So Far. I was actually there for Mom Jeans. I was there for them and Joyce Manor. But I genuinely really enjoyed Microwave. I was like, wow, this is a pretty cool band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty stellar.
The new Mom Jeans album is so good.
Oh,
So
I
just
love
like
Sweet
they
Tooth.
played like almost all of it. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
It was
They
incredible.
were a really good set.
Yeah.
I had seen them live once before. It was good to see them on this album that I really like.
That's crazy. I kind of want to touch upon could you remind me when you guys started off as a band? Initially, I want to make sure I got this fact straight before I say. So when did you guys start? Or form Amateur Hockey Club?
Like kind of in like 2015. The first time we actually played a show was the end of 2017.
Gotcha.
We went through some lineup changes. So in like the summer of 2019, we changed bassist, and the guitarist that was in the band left. So then we put a new lineup together and played one show on Leap Day 2020. We were supporting Ashford for their EP release show at Stamps. And then that was the last show before we had more stuff booked, but then COVID happened and canceled everything for a very long time.
Gotcha. Okay, no, for sure. I definitely heard of you guys when that came out. And then you guys have always been so great at supporting us because the Local Lowdown, as mentioned, it's on its 10th year anniversary. And I only knew it as far as like my freshman year because I saw Alex Vaslov put on this show right before like beaches and stuff like that. I was going to co-host, but my class took in the way, but it's fine. But I know that a lot of shows were lined up and a lot of artists kind of came through here before they went to perform. And, you know, I think kind of trying to revive that after COVID has definitely been like a task, especially one where like I was like, I think I'm ready to do this. And then I was actually, I'm not, because this takes more than just like 2-3 people to do. Our team is now of like 14 people, which is great. And through that, I feel like the best part is also like people contacting us and being like, oh my God, Local Lowdown's back. That's great. Yeah. And you guys are definitely one of the few that were like, this means a lot. And like, we are so sure of like making sure that we're on the right path to showcasing these artists and bands properly. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah. Matt reached out to my email before I was even doing the Local Lowdown. Because like then Mel reached out to me to be a part of it. But yeah, we appreciate you like being so forward with that. And now it's great to finally have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I had known that like the Fredonia music scene was like awesome. It was popping off for a long time, but I didn't really have a lot of chances to come down here before the pandemic. But then immediately after, we got a chance to play at North Pole. Yeah. And I got to know Dan Doyle and the guys in the Weathermind Say Otherwise, and they're just like really sweet people. Yeah. And they make me want to come down here for shows all the time. And I got the chance to meet you at BJ's a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It was such a full circle moment. One, because like again, BJ shows just started this semester, and trying to like making sure that I spoke to Dan and he also had like his goals for like the artists coming through, and like we had our goals set for the semester, and so like
and they just kind of aligned.
Honestly, like, it's obviously we want to cater to like the local music scene, but it always like means so much when there's artists who come down here from Buffalo or from other parts of like New York, because they know how cherished they are when they do come to Fredonia specifically, because the music scene here is only as big as it gets sometimes, and we want to make sure that like there's artists all over New York that we want to meet and we want to have on here. So,
Yeah. We talked a little bit about like the influence that you pull from past bands, but do you feel like you pull influence from like the Buffalo, Western New York, even Fredonia scene?
Yeah, I think that a few years ago we were kind of like, some of the members of my band were into like jammy, funky stuff. So
Okay.
like we were trying to like integrate with that scene, and it was like that's not my scene. That's not the kind of music I like. So it was like not like really working. But then I think in the last like year or so, we've been able to play with a bunch of bands from Buffalo that like we do really like, and that I think we have like some common musical ground. So I like Fernway is like sincerely one of my very favorite bands.
Yeah.
Or Ghost Pool is
And they're
the
back
best.
now.
Yeah, it's awesome. So absolutely, I think about them when I'm songwriting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have any favorite bands to play with, or those are kind of the same names?
We've never been able to play with Fernway or Ghost Pool. Fernway invited us to be on their release show.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Very
It's
exciting.
wild because literally like a month or so ago, I was like making like my bucket list, like dream shows that I wanted for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
In the fall, I wanted to make sure I literally said 3 bands I wanted to play with Ghost Pool, Fernway, and Marquis Grand.
That is
and then that is the
insane.
lineup
Wow, and
That's
they-
that fell
awesome.
into our
And
lap.
like they came to you and asked you like, hey, do you want to
yeah,
perform?
Fernway
That
asked
would-
us. It
That's
was
great.
Insane.
like that was like I was like maybe if I work really hard I can make this happen by like the end of December, and then it's happening in June. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
awesome.
sweet.
I will be all the way down in Long Island, unable
I
to go to that show, and
know.
I
They
am
got
so
sick.
upset about it.
We got trains.
We do have trains.
Let me know. I'll pick
I
you up
also
from the
have a
station.
job.
I'm from Queens, and I'm gonna be back. I was like, please tell me this is in the summer, and I saw the date now.
Yeah, same.
I
was like,
might
before
have to
the
take a
release.
train. Maybe
I'm
there's
gonna
an
take a-
overnight train.
No, I'm gonna take a plane.
sure.
That's too
Plane?
far.
That's too
Planes,
much
trains,
money.
automobiles.
Well, I'll make it. I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
Yeah.
So what inspired like the heavier rhythm that you guys have in your song "What You Wanted"?
Yeah.
What's the question with that? Okay.
No,
That's
I
kind
can-
of self-explanatory.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I think that it does just kind of push into kind of a heavier thing than we've done in the
Yes,
past. I
yeah.
think Craig is in like a punk band called
Mm-hmm.
Smug, where he's like the front man.
Mhm.
So Craig's got like this crazy energy, and just like really good like driving like punk
Mm-hmm.
guitar ethos.
Yeah.
So just kind of like I wrote the song, but then just kind of like the energy that Craig and also Abram brought to it
Yeah.
Right.
of just like a little bit of grit was huge.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Definitely.
That song, I think, like the specific way that the riff is structured, if it was like just like a little bit slower, I think the song would like lean a little too far towards like butt rock for my comfort.
Right.
So it's like it had to be at like this very specific space so that it
Yeah.
like didn't
Yeah.
feel too slow. But I think I like the way that it turned out.
I am finding so much joy in the fact that we were just speaking to like the Fernway guys and talking about like the musical inspirations and how like they all don't listen to the same song, and that kind of caters to what you're saying, how everyone in the band doesn't have to necessarily fall under the same umbrella when it comes to either backgrounds or genres, and how they all end up bringing something to the table when it comes to this band, which makes it so you could say like diverse in terms of like what people choose to see or choose to relate to. So it's really nice to see that, the band is each their own, and as you said, like they're in other bands as well. But I don't know, I'm seeing it more and more, and it's really like appealing. I don't know, it's just diverse, because sometimes
Yeah.
when you think of a band, you're just like amateur hockey club, and then you're like amateur hockey club has these
Yeah,
members,
actual
these
individuals in it
Yeah,
too.
people.
individuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
People.
And what you were saying about like Craig bringing some energy, I definitely see that on stage from him too. Like
Yeah.
he's always like jumping around and stuff. It's fun to see.
I used to on stage be very, very stiff, but then the first time that I like played a show with Craig, I did not know that he was going to go as big as
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to start doing something, or
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Balance
get
here.
blown off the stage by
Yeah.
my own bandmate.
Yeah. No, I see that too. Like I remember when I saw you guys at BJ's, I was like, oh, Matt's doing this thing too. Like like it spreads
go.
throughout
Yeah.
the group. It's cool.
Yeah. And then I just at BJ's too, it's just like really easy to get swept up in the moment. Or like at North Pole, that was the best crowd we ever played to, and I asked like during the set, I was like, who has ever heard of our band before? And literally nobody except for the guys in The Weather Might Say Otherwise.
Yeah.
So just
Where
like
was I? Where was I? I would have been like me.
So just to have like people that we don't know engaging was really, really cool.
I mean, that's
Great
where
energy.
it begins, though. Some of like the bands that I have fallen like in love with and like followed through and through have been through the house. Like Second Suitor, I'm not gonna go on my tangent, but like they're from Binghamton, and like they came by during a tour, and then from then on, I was like, I like them. I like their energy. They're super sweet, and I was like, I'm gonna follow them wherever they go, and it's great to hear that like the house provided so much for you.
I also just love like going to shows and like falling in love with a band I didn't go to see on accident.
Yes.
Like there's a band called Weekend Friends that I love. Weekend Friends.
Yes.
I saw them because like in like January 2020, Ghost Pool was opening for them, and I like went to see Ghost Pool, but like I paid for the ticket, so I was gonna stay for the whole show, and then I saw Weekend Friends, and they were incredible.
Yeah.
So it was I found a new favorite band on accident.
Right.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best part about like either having like sometimes like the bigger artists kind of contact either other artists that may not be as big, or even friends who may be diverse in certain genres like come perform. It's like you're kind of opening that platform of like, hey, people are maybe you may not know are here to hear you listen, and as I mentioned, it's like just another way for people to fall in love with music and people and vibes.
Yeah, I feel like that especially happens when like a mid-sized band is like on like a national tour or something, and then they get like the local acts to perform it. It's definitely cool to see that, like especially in this area. Like I know like there's like that early Worm, I think it's Ghost Pool, and then there's like the band that's coming through. But
Teenage Halloween.
yes, yeah. So it's cool to see stuff like that. So talking a little bit about what you wanted some more. It's a great single. I enjoy it quite a bit. I love like how it's just so dynamic and the build up. Like we were talking a little bit before we started recording about just the chorus and how you recorded it and everything, and working with RJ DeMarco of Fernway. So many Fernway shout outs today.
Yeah.
And then Trevor. I've never been sure how to say Trevor's last name. Balbiers?
I say Balbiers.
Okay.
It feels good to say it that way.
It does feel good.
He'll let us know
Trevor.
in case it's wrong.
Yeah, so what was it like working with those two, like getting that heavier sound that we were talking about?
It was awesome. They definitely just like super understand the style of music that we were like going for. So it was just like there was no like trying to like get them to understand the vision. They like already got the vision of the song just from like the demo that we had put together. So that was really cool. And then just like literally the experience of having them both there just made it like super efficient, because RJ could do more like producery stuff, and Trevor was doing like engineering stuff.
Okay, I see.
We were able to just kind of plow through stuff and keep it moving. So that was really cool. And then the like scariest part of that recording process for me was we didn't finish all the background vocals on like the time that we had booked out. And then at that point in time, I was working a regular 9-to-5 job. So the best, quickest makeup time was going to be on a day that I couldn't be there to do the backing vocals. So I needed to send Abram and Craig in to do backing vocals like without me.
Oh, wow.
And so it was just like putting an incredible amount of trust into them and into RJ to just like go for it. I messed up really badly, and I told them to do something wrong. So they ended up having to go for a second day. But it was so hard to not be there, but what they came out with was so great.
But I'm assuming it like worked out, and like it's in the works and stuff like that. A question I really like asking bands in general, as we're talking about like the newer song.
Is that you over there, Alex?
Is that you, Alex?
I'm looking at this music video.
Alex, wait, hold
I
up.
don't even know where to start.
Let me finish my question, and then
We're
we can head
hosting
on.
over here, buddy.
And you can head on to your question, okay? This kind of correlated to what Matt was saying about like experimenting something different that you hadn't before. have you guys like found your new sound? Is there something that like you definitely want to stick through and through, or like a message to get across, or are you still willing to experiment with other sounds or even genres?
Yeah, so we right now Amateur Hockey Club just has like a huge backlog of songs that are written but aren't recorded. So we have to work through that first. I keep writing while we go through it, but like we book so many shows right now that pretty much every time we get together, it's like, okay, there's a show next week. We have to be rehearsing to make sure it's tight.
Hey,
so
that's a good thing too, though.
Right.
yeah, most of the songwriting starts with me, so there's like certain limitations of like kind of what I'm not going to write a song that I don't like, and there is like certain genres that I like, but we're definitely down to like keep pushing stuff. When we recorded What You Wanted, we recorded a second song at the same time called Boxed Wine. That song's probably going to come out in like June. That song like sonically is like not very much like What You Wanted.
Yeah.
But the going in and recording them together, like they like literally the sound, the mix, the master is like cohesive across them, so it like sounds like the same band, but it's that one's a lot more like bright and sunshiny.
Right.
I literally just like from like a technical perspective, I have trouble writing songs in minor keys. I just feel like pretty much everything that I reach for in a minor key, like the first thing I do is always super corny. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't want to keep exploring this corny idea. So, so what you wanted being in a minor key and turning out well is really luck more than anything.
What I want to know is the story behind this music video, though, because
Yes,
this thing is wacky, dude. Wacky in a good way. I dig it, but I mean, how did this come about?
So the idea was just that we wanted to like prepare like different forms of media so that we could meet people where they are. Because like I don't really watch lyric videos, but I know that there are people that do.
Yeah.
So if like a person's preferred way to listen to our song is by watching a lyric video, I want to make sure that there was a lyric video.
Right.
And Craig is kind of trying to push into like for his day job into like marketing and like media production type stuff. So he was kind of like coming to terms with like certain editing software and like graphic software, and the graphic stuff didn't really end up making it into there. But I was just like, okay, well, Craig, so since you're kind of working on this stuff anyway, do you think that rather than us paying somebody to do the lyric video, that you could do it? And he was like, yeah. He was like, what's like your vision for it? And I was like, lyrics in a video. I don't know. We have like the piece of artwork, so like if you're gonna like create anything, probably use like that same color palette. But like other than that, all I really care about are like that the lyrics are in a video. He's like, okay.
He's like, gotcha.
And then he's like, I think I have an idea. I'll send it to you once it's close. And then like a couple weeks later, he just like sent a rough cut of that video with the old people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, you satisfied everything I asked for. The lyrics are in a video.
Yeah.
And it's wild how well some of them look like they're like actually dancing along.
Oh, it works so well.
It's really funny.
He took creative control and made it his own.
He
And
did.
you know what? It worked out.
Shout
He
out
really
Craig.
ran with it.
Wherever you
Shout out
are
Craig.
right now, Craig, I really hope you know that we appreciate you for this music video
do,
because
we
it's
do.
incredible.
Yeah.
What a crazy idea.
Yeah, and so I mean, he didn't like actually go and like find old people to
Yeah.
film. That's like all stock footage. But the fact that there is just that much stock footage of like older people dancing is hilarious.
Yeah. It gets me every time right at the beginning when it's like how the song starts with like the very like
The dirty bass.
yeah, and it just like kind of like floods your eardrums. It's just so funny when I turn that music video on. It's just like
Yeah.
but it like
The
works.
guy in the pink shirt is
Yeah.
going like,
Yeah.
incredible.
I don't know why it works so well,
Yeah.
but I love it, man. So
We
thank
do
you.
too.
Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, graphics we got covered clearly.
Yeah.
Again, shout out Greg, please. If we ever do anything graphically on our end, because we
You know
might be
who to
looking,
call.
we might be looking into something.
If we ever need an old people dancing video.
Well, he actually like he actually does like really good like graphic work.
right,
I have a buddy who hosts a Marvel podcast, and he like created like a motion graphic for it. And it was awesome, but then also he does the lyric videos with the old people.
I like this. That's a masterpiece right there.
All right. Speaking of what you wanted, I think we're about ready to transition into our live set. So feel free to expand upon any song, give the title, just like you would if you were playing the show.
Cool.
Can I say something, promise you won't say to me? Read between the lines, breaking down a melody. It's a cool breeze on a warm night. It's a cold shoulder on a hot body ride. If I say this, promise you won't walk out on me. Space between my fingers, tension building harmony. It's the last time, I'll say it's the last time. This is the last time for the last time. Clock is counting the seconds. The stars are all laughing. I'll be your personal disaster, and you'll be mine. Got so caught up in all that we could, didn't stop to think about what we should. Can I tell you about something that's been scaring me? There's a darkness in your eyes that's consuming me. It's the right place at the right time. I'm the wrong person in the wrong life. The clock is counting the seconds. The stars are all laughing. I'll be your personal disaster, and you'll be mine. Got so caught up in all that we could, didn't stop to think about what we should. I'll spot some crowd till I'm blue in the face. Regret mistakes that I never made, hate on places that I never been, and short words that I should have said. Look for your face in every crowd, and hate every time that I think about the way it tastes, the way it breaks, the way you hang around, the way you hang around. And Poe.
That song is named after an episode of the television or the Netflix show Master of None. Named after and kind of inspired by it, which actually that episode is named after an actual Italian song called That. I'm pretty sure I pronounced it wrong. But the episode of the show is kind of about the main character is like falling in love with his best friend, but she is engaged to somebody else, and it's kind of like, well, they're falling in love with each other, and kind of like it's like forbidden love, and they're like we shouldn't do this, but we're gonna do this, and it's yeah. So Amarzi is still on the long version of our set list. Like that's still a song we play sometimes. This next song I'm gonna play playback. Amateur Hockey Club hasn't performed live in like 3 years, so and I honestly hadn't played it for like a year until I played it this morning getting ready for this. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
Let's be a dream like people have in the movie. Silhouettes against the skyline, kissing under city lights. Kissing under city lights. Let's stop here, pretend things could never end differently. Freeze this frame on a wall, and in all my dreams I'm driving from the backseat. The illusion of control's all I need. I've seen this one before, didn't like the ending. Rewind the tape, hope the outcome changes. Way back from beginning. could sleep, throw your head back, scream at the moon like it's falling down on you. I will leave a self-fulfilling prophecy in all my dreams. I'm flying through the front seat. I'm scared this might be all I need. I've seen this one before. Didn't like the ending. Rewind the tape, hope the outcome changes. Play back from beginning. Things break, then we fix them. It's the way it's always been. Things get lost, we replace them and do it all again. Mistakes and forget them. Repeat it till we're done. Make mistakes and repeat them. Things break, then we fix them. It's the way it's always been. Things get lost, we replace them and do it all again. Mistakes and forget them. Repeat it till we're dead. Mistakes and repeat them. Things break, then we fix them. That's the way it's always been. Things get lost, we replace them and do it all again. Make mistakes and forget them. Repeat it till we're dead. Make mistakes and repeat them. I've seen this one before. Didn't like the ending. Repeat mistakes, hope the outcome changes. Play back from beginning. Things break, then we fix them. That's the way it's always been. Things get lost, we replace them and do it all again. Mistakes and forget them. Repeat it till we're dead. Play back from beginning. This song is called Fresh Blood. It was written about kind of a desire to like meet new people and kind of experience new things. I wish that I could be nicer. I'm not quite into. That can probably get cut. That just, yeah. I wish that I could be nicer. I wish I could make wishes come true. I wish that I could be wiser. I wish I did as I say I do. Need some fresh blood coursing through my veins again. Need some fresh sounds in my ear. Break the bone and set it straight. Repeat it till it grows back right. Repeat till I don't have to anymore. I wish that I could see the future. I wish that I could see how this ends. When you're looking at life through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. Need some fresh blood coursing through my veins again. Need some fresh sounds in my ear. Kill the flowers, save the seeds, plant them where the sun can see. Create the world I wanna leave. You've got a list of reasons to be leaving when it's your turn to go. Got a burning in your throat that wants to be drowned, and in there where your head should go. If you don't put yourself to bed, then I don't know who will. If I don't put an end to this, I don't think that anyone will. The sell-by date was a year ago, and I'm starting to feel ill. If I don't put an end to this, then I don't know who will. Things were good until they stopped. 'cause I couldn't make you something that you're not. If I don't put an end to this, then I don't know who will. You've got a list of reasons to be leaving when it's your turn to go. Got a burning in your throat that wants to be drowned, and an inner where at you go. If you don't put yourself to bed, then I don't know who will. If I don't put an end to this, I don't think that anyone will. Songs from the Figure Myself Out EP, which we self-recorded, and that was released as like the lead single from it. For pretty much the only reason was because that was the one that I liked the mix on the best. So next I'm going to do What You Wanted. This song was never conceived to be played on an acoustic guitar, so I'm going to do my best. So that tuning can go away too. This is all a placeholder until I become a spaceman. I'm getting up and not getting over. I get up and go, gotta hop and ran. I'm nostalgic for things that never even happened. I've been losing myself to years old fixations. I keep telling myself I'm better than the worst part of me. You got what you wanted, I wanted what I got. Keep waiting for the world to say sorry, but I think that it's not. This is all a time killer till we all get old and die. Every dollar spent is a dollar wasted. That's the price of getting by. Always quitting before I get ahead. I don't know how to live outside of my head. I keep telling myself I'm better than the worst part of me. You got what you wanted, I wanted what I got. Waiting for the world to say sorry, but I think that it's not. You got what you wanted, I wanted what I got. Keep waiting for the world to say sorry, but I think that it's not. And then, so this next song, Bones, we did last March. We went down to Brooklyn and recorded at this studio called Least of All, where, yes, Johnny and the Man Kids is actually going really soon. But it's cool. They do live takes, and it gets pressed straight to a vinyl record. So each one is like a totally unique take with all of its own little mistakes and stuff. We did 25 total, and there was like one or two of like most of the songs that we put up, and then there was like 5 requests for Bones because it was all like based on pre-orders. So we played Bones a bunch of times, and then there was like 11 requests for You Get What You Pay For. We were so sick of playing You Get What You Pay For by the end of it. It was wild. I literally just like because like the end of it is like a 1.5 minute long jam, I just started playing like different stuff for the last couple because I was just like, I'm very sick of this song. Cool. So this song is Bones. Wanna dig up bones, make something new out of something old, uncover what the earth has held, find out where it goes. Thought I'd figure myself out by now, thought that I'd have a plan, thought I'd figure myself out by now, never was, has been. Wanna be in control of where I come from and where I go. Wanna ride the road until the road is gone. Be the one that the road's been waiting on. Wanna stay at home. Wanna rule the world from my love-seat throne. From the sunrise until the end of time. From the sunset until the well runs dry. Thought I'd figure myself out by now. Thought that I'd have a plan. Thought I'd figure myself out by now. Never was, has been. Thought I'd run out of excuses to make, but I haven't met a way out that I wouldn't take. Haven't met a chance that I wouldn't throw away. Thought I know what I want by now, that I'd throw it away, just to find out how far I could bend, before my heart would break. Thought I'd figure myself out by now. Thought I'd figure myself out by now.
Sheesh, I don't even know what I was gonna say. I was just gonna shout out the rest of the band members that usually do the harmonies on Bones.
Yeah.
And
I was-
like,
When I was practicing earlier today, I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and then I was here and I was like, I'm not gonna.
Ah, yeah.
On the Figure Myself Out EP, because we did it by ourselves, so like I did like almost everything except for playing the drums, and then for the vocals, I can't sing like a woman does, so I had my girlfriend sing backup vocals on all the songs. So
Oh,
a lot of
wow.
the harmonies
Naturally.
are her. So
Naturally.
filled in a lot of the space.
Yeah, yeah. If What You Wanted and Bones like aren't on my most played songs at the end of the year, I will be very surprised. Like I play those two a lot.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and that all started with you just like sending it to the station.
Yeah.
So appreciate that a lot.
It was I have reached out to a lot of people at a lot of places, like
Right.
radio stations, and
Yeah.
especially like college radio stations, and like almost nobody answers. But every time I've emailed you all, you answer, and I appreciate that so much.
We
are
try.
doing our job.
Nothing like doing our job here at Fredonia Radio Systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, also to preface, I don't think we know, because sometimes you don't even explain, because we fall under FRS in general. But we're all part of FRS, and we actually do have a job. Obviously, as you know, Jordan here is our musical director. What do you do, Alex? Oh, hi, Sebastian.
Hi, Sebastian.
Sebastian is here. I'm proud of you. You want to get on camera real quick, Sebastian? Say hello. There he is.
Hello.
I am the staff representative here at Foote Radio Systems. I'm also the executive producer of a few shows, and of course the technical director
Of
here.
course. And
Many hats.
I am
Yes.
WDVL program director.
Yeah.
Next year will be CBF.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next year I'll be
All right,
stationed.
enough talk about us.
So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we got more important things
but
to talk about.
Kind of going on to what we were saying about before, this kind of goes into where we left off with the last two questions. Your songwriting process. A lot of these are written by you. How do certain songs like come about? Is there like some certain backstory? Do you kind of wait until like something happens to like write something down or a certain feeling to arise?
It's exactly that. It's just like I'll go about my regular life, and
Right.
when I hear somebody say something or just like I see something that inspires me, just write it down in a note on my phone. So I've got one line of thousands of songs written in a note on my in notes on my phone.
Very common, yeah.
And then typically like lyric writing and like songwriting, like chords and melodies and stuff are like completely separate things for me.
Right.
Where I will be messing around on guitar and I'll write a song and then I'll be like, okay, well there's enough of the music done that I can start attaching lyrics to it now, and I scroll through all of the partially written songs in my phone and be like, do any of these fit? I find one that fits and then I develop from there.
Gotcha.
See, I'm always so curious, like, to ask artists how they write songs and, like, their songwriting process, because sometimes we have it, like, exactly spot on, but sometimes there's some, like, wacky way of them, like, figuring out, you know, when they want to play a song or when they want to write something down. So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So another question I have for you. What do you think separates your band from other acts, and what makes Amateur Hockey Club so unique? Because I can definitely see the difference, but I'd want to know it from you specifically. And maybe it might be different for an artist to kind of, like, inspect themselves. But what do you have, or, like, what would you say is so unique about Amateur Hockey Club?
I think that crud. You warned me you were gonna ask me this question, and I just didn't even try to think of anything. It's like super hard to like talk about yourself like that.
That's kind of why I was like, it might take a little bit delving deep into like maybe what the behind the message is, but
yeah. I mean, I just try to like write as true to me as I can, and when there's periods of my life where I didn't really like myself, so that kind of led to me writing songs about that weren't fun.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like myself now so I'm proud of the songs that I make.
Yeah.
And I think I literally was just expressing how uncomfortable I am talking about myself, but I think that kind of the confidence of like our live show of everybody in the band, both in as performers and as musicians, I think that adds a lot to it. And I think everybody in the band trusts each other, and I think that's
super important.
huge.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
wow.
I would say, like, your voice really stands out.
Yes,
too. Especially on like the newest material. And we were talking a little about before recording. Once again, referencing the conversation about you have kind of a new way of recording your voice, which comes through on the latest single. And yeah, I feel like that you definitely have a unique sound to your voice, and it stands out. So.
Like we were talking about before, before we were recording, I do sincerely believe that literally anybody in the whole world can sing. It's just about
They can.
finding songs that are good for them to sing. And sometimes that's really hard because not everybody's voice sounds like everything. Like in the genre of music that we play, most of the vocalists have like a very high vocal range, and I don't. So like covers are most of the time just kind of out of the question because I literally just cannot sing the way that a lot of them sing.
Gotcha.
So, like, finding where I am comfortable singing was, like, a huge struggle. And actually, when I first told my parents that I was going to be the lead vocalist of a band, they laughed at me because they thought I was joking because I used to be really, really bad at singing.
Wow.
But I worked on it because I wanted to be good at it. The very first band that I was in, I wanted to be able to write all my own parts, but because other people were writing the songs, sometimes I didn't have that luxury. So then I was like, okay, well, I want to start writing songs.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start writing songs, to get people to like trust your vision of the song, a lot of times you need like lyrics too. And I was like, okay, well, I
Right.
guess I'll start writing lyrics too.
Yeah.
And then to get people to believe in your lyrics, you have to be able to sing them. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll start singing. So really, everything just came from me wanting to be able to write my own guitar parts, and just kind of I had to do one more thing. And then even like to get people to trust me to sing, we have to record it. So now
it's a whole
record
process,
music.
and it kind of like just boils down to, even if like at that point you're not 100% confident in like your abilities or even like your talents, so like kind of iffy on like the word talent, but kind of just like sticking through and being like, it's gonna be okay at the end. I know what I want and like what the end goal is.
Yeah.
Sticking through it. And I definitely have to agree with Jordan when you guys performed live on Thursday. I had like the headphone sets on as you guys were doing your live set, and like you could select certain inputs to specifically hear that instrument, and like I had your mic on, and I was like, yes, if I could hear your voice anywhere, I was like, yes, Amateur Hockey Club.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
Matt, I know.
Vocals.
Thanks. No, but like your voice is super unique. I don't really know how to like pinpoint it.
I sing like I'm from Buffalo. It's all through my nose.
I was gonna say nasally, and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's like a term that.
It's not a term that people like normally associate as a good thing, but it is literally true about my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I want to throw it over to the Merch Monarch / Gremlin.
I have been rebranded, Jordan. You have rebranded me as the Merch Gremlin of the local lowdown. Let me tell you, the Merch Gremlin's been gremlining around looking for merchandise here of Amateur
What
Hockey
the
Club, and the
heck?
only thing I've been able to find is a sticker. I have one sticker on
I've seen some
my
t-shirts.
fridge. I have one sticker on my fridge, and I haven't been able to find anything online. I know you guys have stuff at shows. But there's nothing online.
Yeah,
He's upset.
I'm upset. Give me the stuff online.
I'm a doofus. I was literally I passed like the sign that was like, you're leaving Buffalo, and I was like, I should have brought anything. Like anything, even if it was just more stickers. Yeah. We only got merch for the first time a few months ago. We got baseball tees just with our logo on them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Baseball tees for amateur.
yeah. My sister said she wanted it, and then my sister got pregnant, so she can't even buy one yet because she's changing sizes every month.
Oh.
So I did it for her, and now I can't even. But yeah, we're for the Fernway show. We're gonna try to get like regular T-shirts made too. 'Cause
Nice.
There's probably going to be a lot of people there, so we want
Say
stuff to
that
sell them.
the rest of us don't fly out or take a 9-hour train ride. No, I would.
DM me what size to hold you, and I'll hold it for you.
Please. Honestly, at this point, with like how many shows have been coming up in like April, it's like I've been leaving shows with like 3 shirts, and I'm just like, I have one of everything at this point, and like you guys are definitely becoming a staple here in Fredonia, and we want to have something to remember. I'm saying it like you guys are leaving forever.
whoa.
No, you're not. But I want to be able to like, if I were to come to a show, be like, I have a shirt.
Yeah.
I know who they are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll be better about that in the future.
No,
And we'll
don't feel bad.
And I'll
trust
try
me.
to I'll try to make an online store.
And
I'm a
Well, I don't want to be like scolding
Yeah,
you.
now
you,
he's
you
just
sound
guilting him.
I
It's
feel
not
kind
like
of bad
Alex wasn't
now.
like yelling like 2 minutes ago about shirts, but
I'm so sorry. I hope you'll forgive me.
No, it's okay.
It is something that I'm sensitive about, so thank you for bringing it up.
Alex, our guest.
Oh no, I feel bad. But no, yeah, I'm very excited to see what you guys do come out with. And, you know, you say you're making new T-shirts as well.
Yeah.
Any plans for, I don't know, any like physical media like CDs, cassettes, maybe? Anything like that in the near future, or are you guys just sticking to like a wearable merch at the
I
moment?
haven't even looked to see like what the cost sunk into that is to even guess, or if there's any record labels listening right now that would like to pay for the pressing. I would love to have physical merchandise. I haven't even really looked at what pressing
some of the
costs.
costs per like a manufacturer definitely is probably not worth it, while some like cassettes or possibly CDs are definitely a lot doable.
I think just like from my observation, physical media, even just since before the pandemic, like I notice less bands that I've seen since shows started coming back last fall have much less physical media at their merch tables than they would have a couple of years ago.
Really?
So that made me think that people didn't want it.
No,
But
you haven't
apparently
seen
there
our
is
merch gremlin.
one person in the whole world that wants it.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
mean,
cassettes
I feel
are
like
coming
cassettes.
back.
Yeah, I feel like the opposite, honestly. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more like cassettes. CDs have always been at merch tables for any show that I've gone to, but I feel like I've been seeing a lot more vinyl and a lot more cassettes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like I
for
can
sure.
reliably see a cassette to any show I go now, which is pretty crazy.
I might just have a bias too because I was driving a car that had a CD player until like 3 months ago, and now my new car doesn't have a CD player, so I don't care about CDs.
Don't say that to Alex.
my
Scoff.
my car doesn't have a CD player. My laptop doesn't have a CD player. I have a PlayStation 5. I don't think that plays CDs. I don't think I can listen to a CD in my house right now.
I don't know, but like just having something tangible of anything, like it's so weird to me. Like even it doesn't have to be music, but sometimes I'm like, if I can have a memory, put it into like a little case in my pocket to take it out anytime, like. And music definitely is one of those things that I'm sure people always want to hold.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. Like the last couple
I said
shows
it in
that
a
we've
nice
had.
way for you.
Yeah. the last couple shows that I've gone to, like this week, like Sonderbombs, they had cassettes. I was able to get that signed. You know, Fernway had CDs that I was able to get. You know, so just something like that. That's kind of like a little memory. It's
Maybe
just like
Matt
so
can
cool.
sign your script for you.
Matt, can you sign my script for me, please?
Before our we played in Buffalo at Nietzsche's a few weeks ago, and before it, we just had like paper, and we were just like, if we ever get famous, we have to have signatures, and like we were trying, and like everybody else has a cool one, and like everybody looked at mine, and they're like, that's terrible. You can't put that on stuff.
You know what? I'll be the judge of that.
I'll write
when
you an
I get this
IOU
signed.
one signature someday in the future when it's less bad.
There you go.
I mean, you were just mentioning how you have your performance with Fernway. When is that, June?
June, the
it-
last Saturday of June.
Gotcha. But do you have any other projects for Amateur Hockey Club years down the road? Well, this is not years down the road, but you guys are saying you guys are looking for a lot of shows to perform in. Anything that we can expect from you guys in the upcoming months?
Yeah, so we are going to release a song called Box Wine in the first couple weeks of June. I don't have the date lined up yet
Very
because I
exciting.
don't have the
Yeah,
art done yet.
Okay.
But once the art's done, I will schedule it for like a month after that.
If the
soon.
music video for that doesn't have like middle-aged mothers like sipping on wine, I'll be very
No,
upset.
I was gonna try because the song's got kind of like a beachy vibe. I think that we were just gonna drink wine on the beach, and that was gonna be the
The whole video.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Chugging
There you
wine.
Just make sure you send everything that you ever release through
Sure
Alex
thing,
so
yeah,
he could have
for
a
the
stamp of
approval.
approval.
And we're actually going to record another song with RJ
Nice.
in a couple of weeks. It's a song that has been around for a really long time, but we just never recorded, so we're really excited to get that done.
Cool.
And RJ is working out of a second studio now called Quiet Country Audio.
Yeah, yeah.
And a friend's band, We Were Blank, I recorded guitar for their EP, and I got to go there and play there, and it's so cool. The facility is incredible. They have so much equipment, so we're really excited to go there and
Sweet.
tear
We're
into
super
it.
excited to see what Amateur Hockey Club has in store for us. You know what? I'm really gonna try now. You put it on my mind about June's performance.
That
It's in
June
my-
performance.
I'll find a way.
Mel, that's like an 8-hour
I
drive.
work at the-
dude.
Well, I just preface. I'm about my job. I used to love it. I work at the Harry Potter store at City, and it's great. But now it's not so much great.
Great.
It's so great. But I'll find a way to not talk about Harry Potter all day. Anyway, and that concludes another episode of the Local Lowdown. Thank you so much, Matt, for coming on, and shout out to the rest of the Amateur Hockey Club guys. It was.
I miss you.
Shut up. It was such a pleasure having you on the show. And next week we're going to be having on the show Fernway, which we're super excited for that. Take it away, Jordan.
All
Go
right.
for it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Local Lowdown on 88.9 WCVF. What's up, Dylan? Dylan's making cheering faces at me over there. I don't know why that threw me off so much.
Just completely just stop the episode.
Yep.
I thought you messed up the line.
Shout
or
out
something.
Dylan, as always. As
Shout
it
out
should
Dylan.
be.
He is so proud of himself right now.
Yeah.
Look at the grin on his face. You can't see it, but I can. And
Yeah.
it's a big grin.
He's like by the floor.
And also on 89.5 WDVL, The Inferno. Make sure to join us next week for some more amazing local music. Same time, same place.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.